Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together, we're Backyard Musing, Science and Technology Channel.
Yep. And as you can tell, we are in the backyard because we had some technical difficulties this morning. Steve thinks it's my fault. I think it's his fault, but we agree to disagree. So here we are. Here we are.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that rescue of Dude 44 Bravo. And I'm going to put this up on the screen so you can read through this. It shows the map of where and how and what happened, and then it has a timeline, and then the next slide will show the equipment used, all the aircraft and stuff. But before,
and that's the fascinating part, the equipment.
Yeah.
That's the fascinating part.
What I don't understand is they said this guy was seriously wounded and bleeding. How did he go 2,000 meters? That's over a mile. Bleeding, and it's climbing up into a crevice, into a mountain. I just don't understand. What does serious wounds mean? What does that mean? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, this guy's got grit if he got up there.
Well, hopefully, it's like the Marcus Luttrell story. That guy did a lot, and he with a broken back, and these guys are they're dedicated, and they're this is a cool story. Yeah, amazing. This will be a movie. Definitely. This will definitely be a movie.
Yeah. The CIA used a futuristic new tool called Ghost Murmur to find and rescue the second American airman who was shot down in southern Iran. The New York Post has learned. This is taken from the New York Post. The secret technology uses long-range quantum magnetometry. I say that right? Magnetometry? To find the electromagnetic signal of a human heartbeat and pairs the data with artificial intelligence software to isolate the signature from background noise. I've seen this done on Star Trek, where they've located Uhura because she had a pendant from a rock from Vulcan, so they just isolated on that pendant and found her.
Maybe they've just put it to good use.
Okay, two sources to the breakthrough said. It was the tool's first use in the field by the spy agency. It was alluded to Monday afternoon by President Trump and CIA Director John Ratcliffe at a White House briefing. Would you like to know more?
A source and another with knowledge of Lockheed Martin intelligence collection tools told the New York Post that Ghost Murmur was developed by Skunkworks, and that's right over here in Palmdale, if you're familiar with Southern California.
Really?
Yeah. The aerospace giant Secretive Advanced Development Division. The company declined to comment. No, really? You think so? The technology has been successfully tested on Black Hawk helicopters for future potential use on F-35 fighter jets, the second source said.
Oh, that's detailed information.
Yeah.
The missing and wounded weapons systems officer, known publicly only as Dude 44 Bravo, was hiding in a mountain crevice after his F-15 jet was shot down late last week, surviving 2 days in desolate terrain as Iranian troops scoured the area for the American with a bounty on his head. And
one of these $60,000, I think, right?
90. I thought it was 90.
It went up to 90. Okay.
And you can see the slide on the left shows the timeline of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, the relatively barren landscape made for an ideal first operational use of Ghost Murmur, the first source said.
The name is deliberate. Murmur is a clinical term for a heart rhythm. Ghost refers to finding someone who, for all practical purposes, has disappeared. According to the source, we don't know which one. It was about as clean an environment as you could ask for because of low electromagnetic interference, almost non-competing human signatures, and at night the thermal contrast between a living body and the desert floor, which gave operators a secondary confirmation layer. So, I don't understand all this stuff, like the heat sensing and all that kind of stuff, but it's just fascinating to me. Like you asked the question, how did they know it wasn't an animal? Yeah. So, or whatever, a coyote, or I don't even know if they have those there, but just some kind of animal. So this is really cool the way they zeroed in on this.
Quote, normally the signal is so weak that it can only be measured in a hospital setting with sensors pressed nearly against the chest, the source said. But advances in a field known as quantum magnetometry, specifically sensors built around microscopic defects in synthetic diamonds, have apparently made it possible to detect these signals at dramatically greater distances. Tricorder, man.
Yeah. So how they were probably in some kind of helicopter, you think? I don't know, or was it a drone flying overwards? Or
it says
because I mean,
they had a
sucks.
forward operating base that they set up shop to coordinate the rescue. They just landed and took the terrain.
So they were on the ground.
They were on the ground looking for the guy.
Oh,
And
okay.
then you had reapers that were,
Which
there were firefights and everything. I mean,
Yeah, I
if
was
you
going
read
to say that must
read
be
the
kind of
description,
scary
it says firefights.
because
Yeah.
it's that there are these guys out there that were looking for this guy because of the bucks, and so obviously they were hostile. So
yeah.
crazy. Although the missing airman had activated a Boeing-made combat survivor evader locator beacon, his precise whereabouts remained unclear to search and rescue teams. A pivotal moment in the mission came when Ghost Murmur detected the aviator, with the first source describing the two technologies as both being useful. I also heard that they were. What's that?
So the locator and this work together.
Yeah. So I also heard that they were trying to throw this group of bounty hunters off. Looking over in another area.
Yeah, deception.
And, so they were.
That's crazy for picking up a downed air pilot, using deception tactics. I mean, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Trump and Ratcliffe hinted at the new technology while briefing the press on the dramatic mission, which included hundreds of U.S. troops and 2 rescue planes getting stuck in a field, requiring more planes and the destruction of the stranded jets with no American casualties. Contrast this to like the hostage rescue back in 1979, where
when Jimmy Carter sent in that group, and that was a disaster. Yeah, that's kind of one of the main reasons why we ended up getting a new president, because that would have been Jimmy Carter's second term.
Yeah,
and fortunately we got Ronald Reagan,
and they released the hostages right after.
Yeah, and I think it was probably like a strong arm type thing, basically saying, look, you better release these people, or we're going to go Trump on you. Or whatever. So Ratcliffe, who took no reporter questions at the briefing, said that on Saturday morning, the spy agency achieved our primary objective by finding and providing confirmation that one of America's best and bravest was alive and concealed in a mountain crevice, still visible to the enemy, but not to the CIA. Very cool.
To the CIA, yeah. It's cool. Trump told the press that the CIA spotted the missing American from 40 miles away, though it was unclear if he was referring to the tool's initial detection distance or subsequent observations, or if the president's citation was precise.
Trump himself has revealed the contours of secret technologies, including telling the Post in January that he deployed a weapon called the discombobulator to disable Venezuelan defenses during the January 3rd raid.
That was the audible.
That captured dictator Nicolas Maduro to face U.S. drug and weapons charges. So we all know how that turned out. So that was another almost flawless raid, right? No casualties on our end. The Cuban strong arms that were there, I guess, to protect Maduro, just kind of rolled over, and a lot of them probably are 6 feet under. So
do you think this could have been done under Biden? He could have did this effectively?
I don't even think he would have been aware that this guy was shot down. And it's a sad deal. It's a sad deal. I feel sorry for him and his family having to go through all this kind of stuff, but he shouldn't have been put in that situation, and our country suffered for it for 4 years. Still, exactly, it's elder abuse. So,
all right, folks, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you in the afternoon.
Take care, everyone. Thanks.